Great day, everyone. Alrighty. So I was really working on getting the TikTok stream set up, and it seems like I'm gonna have to reach out to support for TikTok and for Kick, because for whatever reason does not seem like it wants to work. All right, let's get some happy music going today. Maybe not too loud. Great day, Julie. All right. We have the cover of Barron's up as the background. And we'll get more into it. We'll see what I'm looking at. I mean, troubleshooting with this Streamlabs. They're good. They've reached out to me. There's no issues there. All right. Why didn't this open up? Seems like I might have to. There we go. Always a way to figure it out. For some reason, it doesn't always want to work, but there's always more ways than one, right? All right. So today is the 4th. Which gives us a 3 for positioning. I was looking at IBB, DJT today. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I need to go back over here because I need to change this on Twitter. Whoop. All right. Let's adjust this. We'll look at all that stuff. And we will look at W and DJT as well. All right, let's update that. Boom. So DJT is on the move today. W is rocking it with earnings. Let's check out the SPY. Let's look at what they did with the crazy. Oh, wait. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the pink dot right there? Hold on. Let me make this bigger. We're over here. Let's go like this. Do you all see the pink dot? The pink dot. It's like if you have kids and you've seen Secret Life of Pets, he got the pink, he got the dot. He swallowed the dot, the light. So pink dot bounce on the SPY. Pink dot bounce on the Qs. What is that pink dot? That pink dot is the 33 exponential. Do you see why I have it now? Do you understand why I potentially have that on? Because it works, basically. That's why I have it there. So we are seeing a retracement. We are seeing that they brought the April level. It was down here for a little bit, then they brought it back up. They traded more up here. So for the SPY, for the April level, we've got 623.40, and that one is 599.40 right there. 623.40, 623.40 here. So we are above those levels on the big guys. Let's go to the Qs. All right, Q's July level is 555.92. That has not changed. 519.48 and 519.48. For April and January, let's go to the Dow. Ooh, Dow is down in the dumps. 443.52. April 1st, let's go back to April. April 1st is the blue, 444.02, beautiful, and 440.10. All right, Russell, we are below. July is 222.92. A little less heavy metal this time. I want to say the yellow is our January. Yep, yellow is January. With 223.52. Yep, and still 209. All right, so the big money levels are there. Let's look at Barron's. The cover I have going up, jobs and tariffs slam stocks. Yes, but we also want to keep in mind the cover of The Economist. The pullback to slingshot forward. Green. They're saying it's going green, right? No clouds in the sky here. If we were to somewhat flip this, we would see that potentially we're going to be moving it forward, remaking the Fed. President Trump names a new Federal Reserve chair. Rate cuts will be just the start. Page 16. So they're happy with all this news. All of it, of course, is all about the Federal Reserve. Blue skies ahead. Jobs and tariffs. Okay, but they're talking about potentially new moves there in this cover. To me, new moves and continuing up, and also with The Economist, a green cover. There's nothing that says caution at all to me on those two covers. They're talking about, hey, the pullback for The Economist, yeah, we saw a bit of a pullback and we're bouncing. So as long as we stay above the big money levels on the indexes, hey, it's still a bull market. Until it isn't. Don't be the first to short and get caught with your pants down. All right, so factory orders, yellow, 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 maybe 10 o'clock Tuesday. FOMC chatter, but nothing really. Unemployment on Thursday. This is probably going to be the biggest moving time for the week. They had some bigger buy-ins that happened over here, right? They brought it back to this level, the 623.40. They weren't done buying. They wanted more. Why do I say they were buying? As long as we're above it, it's buying, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Maybe they're just going to take it up and then take it back down again. Now is a risky time to get in because it's dancing around the big money levels, right? So if we wait just a little bit, maybe Wednesday, it'll be a bit more clear as to the direction, whether they're going to bring it back down here to the 599 level, or they're going to take it higher, right on up to 650. All right, let's clean this up. Let's look at some others. If you have a stock, a crypto that you want to have checked out, put it in the chat. We'll check out our majors. Definitely going to put W on as an earnings right here. And W, Wayfair, 94.7 million. Let's go here. Big money's at 71.99. All right. So also, we touched on, well, I'll do this at the end. I'll do that then. Okay, Coinbase as well. Coin is definitely advancing off of earnings. But earnings was on Thursday. How did I miss that? All right, Coin. We did cover that. I just didn't, I guess, save that. 314.97. All right, let's look at Apple after earnings. So Apple had earnings, drawdown. They sold, looks like they sold right there, 208.78. What happens on Apple, we also have bigger volume right here. So what happens on Apple is going to affect the Qs, right? We have this trend line test, pull back, maybe they want to stock up and load up more down here at that 61. So we're going to put Apple on. It's got some bigger volume, volatility. PBM. All right. Our big money volume, 208.78, 14.9 billion. Let's check out our favorite NVIDIA. Big advancement. Oh, look at how it retraced. Totally normal, right? Totally normal to see that. And then it comes back to the 15-second time. Next time, it might not be so kind, right? So keep that in mind. We are seeing some moves to the upside, 23.4 billion. And we are at 144.40. All right, let's go to Tessie. Tessie, hitting the 4, big money sold, 320, and we're advancing off of that 200 exponential bounce right there. All right, so let's check out over here. We have so many. Let's look at Figgy. Fig. It was a major advancer. No, it's not so pretty. It's not so pretty. All right, 14.5 million. This is a low float, cautionary tail. Big money sold at 117.59. Now it looks like it might want to come down. We had a big advancement, a retracement, and now, yeah, looks like they want to maybe take it lower before they get in. It's been dancing around. As you back it out and you start to see, if you look at a different time frame, you'll start to have those moving averages populate. And you can see on a 90-minute chart, we have this downward trend forming right here. So maybe if it will stay above that, if we wanted to put this here, sort of the outliers, it's still in that, oh, it popped above, pulled back below, popped above, pulled back below, resistance, resistance, resistance. I'm gonna leave it right there. Boom, we'll just save it right there for a moment. A moment. All right, let's see, REPL, never heard of it. UVXY, VXX, yummy, YMM, oh, PLTR. Let's check out PLTR. Advancing today. We're going to put that over on the extra side over here, PLTR. I think FIG is going to drop at least 25% over the next month. As long as it stays below the big money level, totally there with you, Lorenzo. Totally there. Believe it. I believe it too. Okay, USO, US oil, contracts pulling back. Put USO on. That's a pretty nasty looking chart, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go to 24 hours. I don't think I put one on for July. No, I didn't. Let's put one on for July. July 75.28 here. I need to memorize how much is in this. USO. How many shares? 11.2 million. Okay, that's a low float. Bum, 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 bum. Doesn't move really like a super low float, but it is. Who knew? All right, VXX. A lot of, but we are seeing XXRP pulling back. For our Ethereum XRP crypto world. Let's put that back up here. XXRP. How many in our XRP ETF? 8.85 million. A lot are moving to the downside, eh? MSTR will put on our advancing side. All right, I'm going to cover VXX here and UVXY. Why am I covering those? I don't usually cover those. They are active and they are going to give us a bigger picture as to what is going on with the S&P 500, with the market overall. So yeah, 13.4 million. And let's go to UVXY, because this is going to help us to see. And look, you guys can see these are typically always declining, right? They're usually always declining. So pretty much everything to the downside today is retracing, moving backwards. So let's go to VXX. All right, so VXX, we're looking at 45.73. Did I do XXRP? 45.82. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Let's get out of that. UVXY. All right, UVXY 1713. All right. Let me tweet out what we are covering over here. If you all like the live stream, you have questions, retweet, share, like, comment. I want this to be a report, not just me talking to the screen. That's boring, all right? Boring. So let's get over here. Let me tweet out what we're covering here. I thought I pinned this, no? Oh, you know what we didn't put on there? We definitely need to put it on there. DJT over here. DJT is advancing. I'm going to put it on this side. We will talk about that. It does have 129 million. So it had earnings. Boom. 16.95 for DJT. All right. So let's tweet out what we're covering for our gapping stocks today. I'm just going to do it all at once. Copy. Do. Coin, MicroStrategy, DJT, MSTR, VXX, UVXY, PLTR, Apple, oops, NVDA, Tesla, FIG, USO, and XXRP. All right, so I'm like, cool, Jane. You know what? I just discovered you. Why should I possibly care anything that you have to say? Well, really, honestly, you can always make up your choice. We're always entitled to free will. So this is basically my opinion of what I'm looking at in the market, where I think it might go. And so remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I did have my Series 7 25 years ago, which meant that I was treated like a broker as far as being able to tell people what to do and to get compensated for it. I'm no longer currently licensed with the Series 7, so therefore I am just a trader giving you my opinion. Now, I have been in the stock market world for 25 years, and I've learned a lot. Started off as a swing trader and then came into day trading, and now I'm pretty much back to swing trading. With my lifestyle right now, it tends to work better. So why am I here? Because I enjoy helping people. I enjoy helping people break free from their job that they hate and enjoy their life more, right? So what I am going to cover today is I am looking at the really big money, where that big money, big whales of the market have placed their trades for crypto, forex, commodities, and futures. I do it from the quarter, right? For stocks, I do it from earnings date. So I also, for the first four that I mentioned, I start for my intraday trading. I look at the night before. What's going on for today? That starts last night, basically. For stocks, I'm going to look at 4 a.m. forward, which is the New York Stock Exchange opening of pre-market trading. Okay? May you please put the link for the PDFs that you discussed? I believe one was reminiscent of how the stock operator had to do the math with the stock market. Thanks and good morning. Yeah, sure, for sure. Reminisce free. All right, so I'm going to put that in the chat. The reminiscence of a stock operator. Right here, it is a free download. So this comes from, I want to say, I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but there you go. There is the free version of Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. I hope it went everywhere. Lorenzo, if you did not get it, let me know. And I will post it out again just on Twitter. I'm not sure that it even went to Twitter. But anyway, I will post it out on Twitter right now under the chat. There we go. Boom. All right, it is attached to today's video. So let's get into it. What on earth am I talking about? We're going to start off with crypto. I start off slow, then we'll get faster. I try to get through all of this by 8:30. All right. I also did not do the limits. Let's go limit. Let's do our limits here, and I will post those out as well. 621, 72, 553, 88, 214, 92, 435, 72. Boom. All right. You can see that those levels did just change over here. We have the 7% and the 20%. Why? Well, 7%, 13% is going to be where they halt it for 15 minutes. After that, then they will halt it for the rest of the day. When did that happen in life? That happened during, oops, halt trading levels, September 11th for indexes, SPY, QQQ, IWM, and DIA. I don't think we'll get there today, but since I have it set up, boom, there you go. All right, so really big guys, daily point of control. I use the 24-hour daily point of control chart for swing trading, right side for day trading, which is either 15 or 5 minute. So over here, boom, they sold at 117, 873, 38. That has not changed. Why do I say they sold? Because we're below it. That is their July level. Down here is their April level, 103, 977, 55. All right. Our intraday level is going to be this red and yellow right here. So for now, 114, oops, 114, 413, and 80 cents right there. All right, let's go and look at Ethereum. What do they have going on for Ethereum today? Is their daily point of control 37.45? Yes, it is right there, the yellow and the pink. Their intraday level is 35, 551, and 58 cents. Now, Jean, I see this yellow line. Does that mean it moves? Yes. It does move throughout the day to the area where the most volume has been traded. If the most volume has been traded there, that's the most powerful level. That means the most people bought there or the most people sold there, or just one person bought or sold there. So our level 4 daily on XRP has not changed. It is above us. You will see it'll be red, yellow, or green, meaning red they sold, yellow they're positioning, green they bought, and they're going to take it higher. All right. Doge. Oops. Let's do Doge. Doge. Ooh, look, they flipped it. You see? It was up here, and then they flipped it down here. It's at 0.20175. 0.20175. You're very welcome, Lorenzo. All right, let's go here. Boom. All right. Intraday 0.20197. All right, let's go to Solana. Solana 162. Ooh, they moved it down too. Are they selling more or are they buying there to take it higher? We will see. Probably in the next few days, we're going to understand. If they brought it down, they were getting greedy and buying on the 200 exponential or the 161. But right now, they're sort of dancing around it. We'll see if it goes below 158 or it comes back above 165. Intraday 162.21. All right, let's go and create the trade setups. Jane, that's awesome, but how do you create your trade setups? Well, I'm looking at the Camarillas and the pivots over here, and I have these green lines right here. Those tell me the 70% trading volume for today. Now over here I see 114.702.73, so I can ignore that. That is from the daily point of control over here. So we want to go above 114.719. Beautiful, we've got that right here. Probably 114.750 because we have a point of control right there at former point of control for today. So we'll go above that. Or below, you know what? Let's go below one. Here we go. 250. Almost got it. Exact. All right. 114,250 and 114,750. There you go. That's the potential day trade setup for Bitcoin. Moving forward with Ethereum. If you have questions, put it in the chat. If you have something you want to see, put it in the chat. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. All right. So above over here, let's go above over here. 35.65. Or below. If we go to 36, that's not going to give very much. Let's go 25 here. 35.25. All right. 35.25 and 35.65. All right, let's go to XRP. XXRP is active. They've sold, they brought it down. They brought it down to a trend line test over here. And they are below the moving averages. Testing 303.61 is a pretty strong level. So let's put it up above. Let's put it up above 303.61. I said 303.5. No, I'm going to put it right here. 301.140. That gives us, for such a small amount, a nice little potential run there. Or over here, 88. There we go. All right, 2.9692 and 3.0140. All right, let's go to Doge. Same thing. Did they flip it around to show as a buy or a sell? All right, so our 70%, we could put it right here, but that's a really small move. Let's put it up above 203.5 or below over here. Oop. We put it here. That gives us this small trade. If we go just below 0.1198, look at this big potential trade there. That looks like a nicer potential opportunity if it goes there. And 0.20350. You see? Positioning, right? That's yellow positioning. All right, all right. I'm really working on getting that TikTok. I was messing around with it today. It's infuriating me. It's asking for something that I can't get. I don't know how to get it, so I'm gonna have to reach out to the help people. All right, so they had 70% all the way down here. I'm gonna put it up at 162. It looks like that is sort of like an inverted head and shoulders. If it fails there, it could drop down and give us a nice bigger trade right there. So 162 and 164.60. We could actually, well, let's see. We'll go 164.50. Boom, right there. Better. 162.20 and 164.50. All right, there we go. Another positioning on Solana with the big money. So during the summer, I am live on at 7:30 in the morning, right? During the school year, I'm live at 8:15. Why, Jane, would you possibly have different times? Because I have kiddos, right? I've got kiddos. And when those kiddos are heading to school, my availability in the morning changes. So that's the beautiful thing about this, is having the flexibility, right? So right now we see 3 sold and 2 positioning. Does that mean that they are going to try to run these up, or are they simply selling more? We shall see. All right, let's get into the stocks. W. All right, so here we are on Wayfair, had earnings. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going from 4 a.m. over here. We see 74.55. So let's go back up above there. Let's go 74.60. Or below over here, 72. Gee, thanks. You guys made it easy. 72 and 74.60. Wait until it gets outside of those ranges. In my opinion, it's going to be a better trade. It's going to be an easier trade. So do with it what you will. That's my thoughts on it. Let's make that a bold. And let's check out our short volume. All right, so what is short volume? There are people that will short a stock, meaning they're expecting it to go down. For Friday's trading day, 58% bought. Why do I say 58%? 100 minus 42 makes it 58. So 58% bought for W. How about coin? 49% bought. So that means that more people shorted it than bought, expecting this to go down. So when it gaps up, that makes a potential for a short squeeze. That means that the shorts have to buy it back. Many, in my opinion, are going to see a fast short squeeze this morning. Potentially the big guys will sell into, but there's no guarantees, right? You just follow the big money, which is why I like to see where they are on the big money levels intraday. I like to follow this to see what's going on. I see that, Julie. I will check out Google as well. All right, so that's the trading levels for W. It looks like 3 potential short squeezes right here. And okay, day trade. Let's see. Let's also look here for that for you. Google, 23%. Most people bought at close from yesterday's trading day. So Friday's trading day. All right, Coinbase. All right, let's go Coinbase here. So big money levels between, it's pretty narrow today, 319.96 and 321.46. So we could bring this up here, 319.50 for potential short there. Big money is down below at 319.97. Or we can bring it up above 322.20 for a move to the upside. You could get a bit aggressive if you wanted to get really close 321 here, but you might get stopped out right there at 321.50. They might reverse it around, so wait for that higher probability. Okay, 319.50, 322.20. All right, let's go to AAPL. AAPL. Let's put on our pre-market extended hours right there, up 0.6. Oops, that's not what I wanted to move. I didn't want to move that one. Now, with interest rate cuts, that catapults, much like an interest rate cut would do this to the Qs. Whoosh, launch it to the stratosphere. What is that? It's a slingshot. It would slingshot it up. All right, so let's do 203.49. Pivot is right there, or above 204. Easy peasy, easy peasy. 203.49, 204 right there. All right, let's go to NVDA. NVIDIA bouncing off the 15, and we're still in this upward trend, but it seems to be a bit more steep here. Right there. So I'd say that's first move, second move would be down there. So it's simply retraced back to the trend line and back to that 15. All right, big money levels between 172.50. Oh, you know what? We have to go here. There we go. So big money level between 175.12 and 175.80. Sorry, 175.70. So we could move this up. Put it 175. That's going to give you 24 cents. 175.12. It's going to give you roughly 30 cents. Okay, 175.12. That's where the big money level is, and 175.80 for NVIDIA. All right, let's go to Tesla. Reminds me of the Charleston dance, if you know it. All right, Tesla advancing 2% today. Big money's all the way up here. I'm going to put it 310.50. This will move down as more volume is traded. So over here we have 305.61. So we can somewhat ignore which one here. Got extra. We've got 2 down here. Well, we'll go below the lower one. How about that? Go to that nice round number, 307.50. 307.50 and 310.50. So you can see we have 2 where they've sold above right now, Tesla and Apple. So the fact that they have more shorts, to me, means that more people are following this, right? So keep that in mind. All right, let's look at MicroStrategy. DJT, baby. We'll do DJT next. All right, MicroStrategy, let's put it up above 376 and below 373. All right, let's go to DJT. We're below big money levels pretty much, except for the earnings trading. All right, Trump Media. We do have volume. Hold on, let me just get it over here. For now, we have, let's advance this a bit, just 48,000. So it's still not that much for DJT overall. I like it. I prefer it over 100,000, right? But I would say, let's put it up above 1740 here, which would also be, it would give you potential move up to 1754, 1785, 1825. So I would say max potential dollar move, we'd probably hit resistance around the $18 mark, or breaking down lower. We can see we've got R3 pivot right here. Again, there's not really anything good until 1680. So I would say wait until it gets outside 1740 and 1680. If it's going to be volatile, that's probably when you're going to see the biggest moves. All right, PLTR had a double top up here at the 160 range. We have earnings tonight, I believe. Yeah, earnings tonight. So this is a pre-earnings trade today. So keep that in mind. If you trade PLTR, you might not want to hold it unless you want to roll the dice, right, overnight, because earnings can be scary. All right, 170, 57.50 negative. Let's put up here 157.80 up there. Then we have potential 158.44, 59.40, 59.65, like this. You could also look at it like this. That might be our, we have a bit of a, I don't know if you guys see it. I see the megaphone zone for PLTR. Sort of correction megaphone. All right. Where's this one? There we go. Let's put 157.20. 157.20 and 157.80. So once it gets out of those 60 cents, good chance for a move. All right, Google. Goog's big money is above us. It's coming back. All right, so day trade above 190.80. We put it right here. 96, it's going to give you almost 30 cents right there. The bigger short trade would be better below 189.20 here, 40 cents, but you could sort of scout below 189.96 and 190.80. All right, let's get to FIG. All right, so I'm going to put FIG on a negative 90-minute chart over here on the left so you guys can somewhat see what's going on. We can see that it topped off we have this general sort of trend line here that it's following down. It had an oops day, shot up overnight, came back, and then opened and went right below. And it's been following this sort of sell-off trend line, right? So it's sort of descending, I would say descending triangle down to here, but that support seems to be around roughly 115. So if that 115 zone breaks, we could see a bigger move to the downside, potentially down to 107.60, if not further. I know Lorenzo's thinking, this is going lower. That very well could, but if everybody is thinking that, a lot of people could get caught, right? And that would not be the best. So we have them selling at 120.01, so we're going to put it 120, right? That's going to be our level. 1 penny is going to be, most people, I think it's going to end up popping if it goes above there. All right, USO oil contracts. We can also look at CL is declining as well. Boom, they look exactly the same. Why do they look exactly the same? Well, USO is the stock that is traded off of oil contracts. All right, so when you see that, you know that oil futures are dropping. It's crazy. Here in Canada, we have 4 different prices for fuel throughout the day. It's pretty ridiculous to me. Just goes to show the absolute manipulation that we deal with. All right, and that they just, yeah. Anyways, another story for another day. All right, so 75.80 and 76.50. It's a small, you're going to find smaller moves. If you go above 77, above 77.22, you've got a bigger one. So if you want to wait that long, go for it. If you want to scalp some along the way, might get stuck here around this resistance zone that you've seen right here. That might happen as well. So it might only go 20 cents for USO. All right, 75.80 and 76, not 45. 75.80 and 76.50. There we go. All right, let's go to XXRP. Any other questions? Do you have a question? If so, put it in the chat. Also, if you like what I'm talking about, go to carpeprofit.com. It'll bring you to this page right here, Learn with Airplane Jane. And you can check out the trading courses, one-on-one coaching, terminology video, how to trade like a billionaire, boom, right there. A $11 book to learn how to trade like this. Super easy to understand how to set it up. I literally have photos telling you exactly what to do on Tradingview, how to set it up. So it's pretty easy. I think everybody that has watched it, has read it, can attest to that. All right, so 41 here and 42 for XXRP. Haha. So I'm gonna hit tab. There we go. Okay. Now, I very rarely will put these on. These are more for reference today, okay? Because I don't really recommend ever trading VXX or UVXY. So I'm using this more as a reference, okay? Why on earth would I be using it as a reference? Well, you can see we have 2 big money levels here, 45.73 and 45.31. That's where the big money is. When we go above, look, it tends to hit that 33 and come back, 33 and come back. So if you want it to be daring and you want to try to get into the S&P 500 before it rip roars again, get it at a $10 discount. Okay, well, it's up 0.6%, but it tends to hit that 33. This could be that reversal point. We are seeing that the big guys moved their position from up here, 47.84. They will likely short this because the market overall is bullish, which means that VXX in general is bearish. Same thing for UVXY, bearish. When there is fear, oh my goodness, we have all of these tariffs going on. Well, we heard North Korea, what was it? Korea that had Taiwan, I don't remember who it was last night, that came to an agreement. I'm going to make this the flip side, that it's going to be red Green meaning buy the market, red meaning sell the market, right? Because if we go below 44.50, it is an inverse indicator, right? Fear and panic with VXX. Let's go to UVXY. Again, they typically tend to always be declining. So keep that in mind. This is not something you hold long term. Better as a point of reference, right? So let's put this here. Let's put this here. You can see, again, the big money moved it for July to 17.13. They like to sell this. They like to just make money as it goes down the hill, right? So for UVXY, 1688 and 1660 as a buy zone. You guys can look it up on Investopedia if you don't know what I'm talking about. But this is, I'm talking more about the market, right? Like you could keep this up on another window. You start to see that the market is dropping, but you see that it never really goes above here. Or if it does, it goes quickly and comes right back, and it goes quickly and comes right back. Likely they're selling it right there, right? So keep that in mind. They will, the bigger money right here, this is a big wick, right? That is, let's do this quick. Negative, this one. All right, so Friday's trading, 61.8 million. When in the past have we seen that we have had 61.8 million on UVXY? When? Right here, we had 33. Right here, we had negative 40 million, 38 million, 44 million, 38.6 million. So this is a big, right here, this is a big, hello, wake up, some big move is coming. So if that big move, if this goes above the 1688, that big move could be a major crash in the market. But how long do those crashes last, right? Maybe 10 days. So if you are on average to buy on the 10th day, you're probably going to be pretty good, right? But you really want to see the market rebound first, typically. You could be a bit more gutsy. So how much do we have on Friday here? We had 14.44 million. Did they trade that much right here? We had, let's go back here. This one, 22 million. Then they were done. They sold 20 million. Oops, undo that, undo. Let's go here. Over here, 25 and 27. So when you start to use these as a tool, hey, we had abnormal high volume on VXX, UVXY. Are they about to take it higher? Are we in the beginning phase? Or are we at the end phase here where they're about to reverse it? So that's where these are amazing tools, not so much for trading, but amazing tools to see the big guys are being smart. We saw them move the big money level again, right? Let's get into the indexes and let's talk about where we are. We're below on two of the indexes, the Dow and the Russell. So let's come on over here. So that's this a bit. All right, so we see big money level up above here. Let's put it 439. $437.80. Negative. 438. 438 and 439. All right, let's go to the Russell. So we are below all the big money levels there, right? For the year. Let's do 216 and 216.80 here for the Russell. Now we're below 2 out of 3 for the Russell, right? When we see, great day, Roger, when we see red all over the place over here, that's the caution. That's the hay. Yellow is, all right, they're positioning. Gotta maybe step aside, wait for them to make a move once they're done, and then follow it. Well, we've seen look at this. Big volume building. Price was dropping, but we rebounded. We're inside candle day. They could sell into the bounce, so be aware of that. If you are going long and you're trying to catch a great entry off of this drop, make sure your stops are tight. That's my opinion. Do with it what you will. Just experience, right? Seeing that. Don't carte blanche. Well, the market is bullish overall, so I'm going to get in and I'm just going to hold it. We are above everything on the Qs. So we have some indecision in the market, right? We have indecision. We're above on the SPY as well. But we're below the 2000 stock index, right? 626 for the SPY right here and 625. All right, so we're above, and we're below. That's a little bit of a yellow flag, right? I wish I had cards from soccer. That's a yellow warning. All right, yellow warning in the market. Let's see what's going on with VXX and UVXY, right? VXX, the levels are just right here, but they're just around us too for the SPY and the Qs. UVXY as well, right? UVXY, similar. We didn't check UVIX. Let's go to UVIX. I don't think I have a July price level, but let's see our big volume. Got to slide this over again. Big volume, 39 million. Okay, so they're trading UVIX and UVXY for the VIX futures. So let's throw on our points of control, 1990. I haven't had it on here. Interesting. Make this one orange. Now let's make this one green, blue-green, right? And it's interesting, I didn't have it on here at all for the year so far. Never looked at them, but that's why we can see, we see your volume, we see you, we see that you guys have traded this, and we know it, and there's no hiding it based off of the volume, right? So we have our January and April level up here at 28.35. For sure it goes above 28.35, it's going to crash, right? 1990, this is more recent. We've seen on UVXY, UVIX, and VXX that we are very close to that big money level that they've used. This is an indication that we might see a massive move in the market, especially with UVXY and UVIX, big money volume. All right, I'm going to also post that out on TikTok. Actually, I'll do a quick little TikTok now if I can get that working for me. I hope you guys have an amazing trading day. If you guys like the live stream, check out my website, carpeprofit.com. Bottom of the page is that ebook about how to set this up for yourself on your chart. If you guys want any sort of coaching, right there as well. I hope you have an amazing trading day. Carpe Profit.